How do? Won't take much of your time. If you'd like to support the channel by buying my books, there's my 2 books. Strangeways Prison Officer Story and Strangeways Unlocked. Yeah, both available in Audible, Kindle, on Amazon and good bookstores. So I will be vlogging with a dog. Literally, I'm going to take 2 minutes of your time. So, dangerous individuals, prisoners. I think a lot of people believe that a lot of dangerous individuals who are a risk to prison staff, yeah, are kept in special measures, special units, segregation and solitary, like Robert Maudsley. Not so. There's procedures in place. We had people on the healthcare when I worked at Strangeways. One lad who kept making weapons, nasty weapons. Quite a smiley lad, quite chatty. I used to talk to him often. Simon, what's the matter, kid? Hey? I'm doing a little vlog, dude. He was a chatty lad. He kept making weapons. He tried to cut somebody's throat. He eventually went to a mental hospital. But when we unlocked him, he would come out of his cell. He would be searched. We would walk into the shower, lock him in, so staff were safe, and then some of the staff will go and search his cells. Yeah, ways and means of managing different individuals, dangerous individuals, segregation units, ways and means of, he thinks he's a parrot, this cat, ways and means, Simon, of managing difficult individuals. Yeah, but a lot of these dangerous individuals, people who are in for 30 odd years, people in for acts of terror and the like, risk to staff, a real risk. Yeah, and they're not kept in special conditions, they're kept on normal location. Robert Maudsley, serial killer, killed a sex offender in Broadmoor, killed 2 people in prison. Yeah, for me, he won't be on general population, but he could be treated in a decent manner. A lot of the time he was in solitary, he wasn't, and he had nothing. I'm going to be speaking to someone about that and hopefully reporting that in a vlog form back to you. So, out with the boy. Cheers. Thanks for coming.
How do? Yeah, you all thought it were funny, didn't you? Old Stephen here, romping in the dark pit of hell. Yeah, me talking about Gary Glitter and Robert Maudsley, which I will be doing another Maudsley interview later in the week to answer some of the questions and comments. But yeah, move on, Stephen, come on. Go on. Show them how well trained you are. How do? The thing I like about you people, all you people that supported the channel, yeah, is it's got to be the comment section, yeah? Particularly towards the guests I've had. A lot of guests that come on this channel have childhood trauma, they've gone through trauma, PTSD, abuse, you name it, they've been through it, and the comments are always super supportive. Yeah, you get the odd knob, you know, but that's life, innit? But on whole, the people who comment on this channel's videos, very, very positive, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I'd like to thank people who support me on Patreon. Next couple of months I'm going to get jacked up. You guys on Patreon, a bit of content for yourselves, you know, that no one else will be seeing. I hope to do lives for some of you guys so you can, as it were, meet and do questions, and then I'll post them lives as video to the channel. I intend doing some lives. I want to start with Mental Health Mondays, getting people on talking about mental health. I'll do that for an audience of 1. One of you out there watches that, it helps. All good. I know a lot of you are struggling. So thanks to everyone who supported the channel. So today I'm going to talk about Charles Salvador. Yeah, I've done a few videos before. This is very different. This is along the lines of me talking about Robert Maudsley, difficult prisoners. Charlie, in his day, I'm going to call him Charlie, most dangerous, most intimidating, you know, put anything in front of him. Try and keep calm today, just because I want it to be a long video. I want you to understand what I'm talking about, because a lot of you have never been to prison, and hopefully it'll turn out that way. Stephen, walk this way. So where we're going to start? Managing different prisoners, yeah, or difficult prisoners. So Charlie has probably been one of the worst. Hopefully we're going to see his public parole this year, and hopefully he's going to get out. I say hopefully, he will. And when he gets out, I'm going to speak to him at some point. I know I'm going to meet him. I'd love to sit down with a guy, buy him some chocolate, maybe a Guinness. I'd love to interview him for this channel. I know what some of you are thinking. Don't matter, it won't be like any other interview. I've no doubt he possibly will give a lot of interviews. You know, they'll go viral or whatever, but the questions I'd ask him as an ex-prison officer. And it'd be very different. I'm not interested in the violence, the incidents that have kept him inside or anything else. It'd be very different. Yeah, we'll be talking about prison, things that happen in prison, prison regimes, routines and the like. But again, it'd be very different, because having done that job, I look at it with a different point of view. And some of you, listen, some videos, yeah, I'm on staff side when I'm getting battered and kick the shit out of them and stuff like that. But I'm not on the staff side because I'm an ex-prison officer. It's a difficult job. Sometimes I'll be talking about the prisoners. You know, it's a brutal regime. We make people how they are. We're not... I nearly swore then. Try not to swear in this one. I may have swore already. You know, we're not rehabilitating people. I saw an article today on social media where someone's saying, yeah, you're still talking about prisons being holiday camps. Yeah, it's a pity you can't sign up just for a couple of nights to one of these holiday camps. They are shite. Yeah, no experience, no staff, people. Yeah, someone was saying, well, they're all nutcases. A lot of them are. You know, a lot of people in prison, addicts and that, they've been abused, suffered abuse as children. Yeah, we all have choices, but some of them paths were taken away from them. You know, growing up with a criminal father who's a bank robber and everything else. I'm going to tell you 2 Charles Bronson stories. Yeah, and I'll tell you about Charlie Bronson, not from personal experience. Yeah, but Charlie Bronson's like everyone else. He's like the kids I used to work with. When I used to work in the kids' home, there was 6 staff. 4 were lovely, amazing. I worked with any one of them 4, and they were boy-girl teams. I was the relief staff member. You'd have a great time. There was another team, boy-girl. They were horrible to some of the kids. Not all of them, to some of them. Food-wise, you know, they'd literally throw food at them at the weekend. Whatever was easiest and cheapest to feed them. Sunday dinner, chuck some oven chips in, couple of chicken nuggets or something like that, yeah? The cheapest bread, and I mean the cheapest. When they used to go shopping, them 2, they would buy the cheapest of everything for them kids. And budget weren't an option. You know, I'd buy a joint, they'd have a big Sunday dinner, and they loved it. Them kids reacted to how they were treated and spoken to. Yeah, they warmed to some people and not others. Prison's no different. Charlie Bronson will have gone to prisons that he liked. And the reason he liked them, even though I would imagine the vast majority of prison officers, you know, would be quite fearful of coming up against him, but they treat him right. You know, and he was no bother. And he had settled periods. 2 stories. First one is my story. Yeah? So, let me get this right. 2020, Charlie Bronson wrote my book. Wrote it, I didn't write it. He read my book, somebody gave it him, yeah? So when my book first come out, Strangeways of Prison Officer Story, yeah, 2016. A lot of comments immediately, 1 and 2 star from ex-prison officers. Friends, comments from friends and that, which is fine, you know. The typical comment would be, I did 30 years at Strangeways, this is bollocks, he's full of shit, they're not his stories. I've heard that so many times. Oh, how we laughed. But that's fine. But I got a review from Charlie Bronson via a lifelong friend who contacted me on social media. Sam, Charlie's recently read your book, somebody gave it him. Charlie Bronson, so that's somebody who's fought the system, spent most of his life inside. He'll have come up against the system. You're never going to beat the system. Ex-screw, prison officer, written a book, and he's read it. Yeah, so what's it going to be like? Well, I'll tell you what it was like. Yeah, he thanked me for my service. He said the prison service needed more screws like me. He talked about my mental health, which I talk about in the book, and said, you know, on the mental health front, box clever. But overall, he says, I'm going to give it 5 stars. He says, the best book I've ever read on prison. Honest and truthful. That's from a man who's fought the system, yeah? That's not an advertisement for my book, but for me, that says, yeah, you did that right, Sam. That's why a lot of people who used to be friends are no longer friends. And that's why a lot of people who follow this channel are ex-prisoners. I always spoke and treat people I wanted to be spoke to and treat myself. Yeah, lads with mental health assaulting me, you know, they were unwell, and then the sort of reasoning kicks in, because I didn't kick off, I didn't take it personal, I'd still do things for him. That's what it's about, and Charlie Bronson's no different. Liverpool, HMP Liverpool, Charlie Bronson, on the survey. 2 very good friends of mine worked down the segregation unit when Charlie were there. Never kicked off. Or he might have kicked off, but he certainly didn't kick off when they were there. And it'd be like a lot of places. Everyone knew who he was. Yeah, intimidating character. Super fit for periods of his prison life. But again, turned up at the survey. Yeah, this is Bobby Haig's story, this. Because everyone has a Charlie Bronson story if they've been in a certain length of time. Turned up at the survey. Gov, please may I have another couple of roast potatoes? Yes, no problem, Charlie. Cheers, Gov. Makes every day like Christmas. That's it. Couple of roast potatoes. He was happy. Every day like Christmas. Speak and treat people in a decent manner, and you're going to get a response. Lots of prisoners, the vast majority of prisoners I came against, who maybe I didn't get on with. What I mean by that is, you know, they didn't like me maybe, or whatever. They came round in the end. You know, be consistent, be yourself, the voice of reason, they come round. Charlie Bronson. Charlie. Hull Prison. A couple of officers I spoke to were at Hull Prison. On the unit, Hull Special Unit, when he got lifed off. Pinned comment, article, if I can find one, that describes this incident. I'm going to tell you from the point of view of 2 officers. One of them said to me on a previous vlog, he's a tosser, horrible bastard, violent, he deserved everything he got, yeah? I worked on the special unit, he deserved to get life. So I fired him some questions back. Could it have been handled differently? Did you know that incident was going to happen? Basically, there was an art teacher, he was gay, he criticised one of Charlie's pictures, Charlie weren't happy, everyone knew that. This guy went on the unit, the staff all went to the office, locked themselves in or whatever, and Charlie took him hostage, had him dancing and all sorts. So I asked this guy questions. Could it have been managed different? Did you know that was going to happen? Why didn't you de-escalate? Why didn't you do something about it? No reply. He read my message, no reply though. Another officer, not unlike myself, bit shorter, definitely got more hair, thinking man screw, decent guy. I know how he would have treated prisoners. He was kitted up that night, full riot gear, tornado, yeah? Possibly having to be part of an intervention to go onto the wing, take out Charlie and rescue this hostage. From his point of view, same questions. Could it be managed differently? Yes. Did people know what was going to happen? Quite possibly. Was it allowed to happen? Quite possibly. Were the police? Yeah, a lot of people there, a lot of people involved. My final question to him was, Do you think the prison service, after that incident, were rubbing their hands together, prison service in general, rubbing their hands together, yeah, we've got him, get him in court, life him off? He says, yeah, quite definitely they will have been doing that. You know, it was has been a thorn in the side to the prison service. Difficult to manage at times, but lots of positive stories. And, you know, we all exaggerate a little bit. I remember one of the old seg screws from Strangeways, prison officers. Strangeways, tiled floor, there is a line round the outside of the seg, yeah, in tiles, laid in the tiles. So as you come out of your cell, you're expected to walk one way, it's like leaves a little walkway, yeah, down to the servery, collect your meal and back. He said, yeah, we had Charlie walking the line. I said, when you say we, you personally, you know, I knew what he meant. You personally, you know, were you stood there telling him? Anyway, he didn't like that. He was just conforming like everyone else does. You know, we have a certain amount of control. To put that in perspective a little bit more, on K-Wing where I work, we had 200 prisoners. We used to serve them all meals. 3 landings, yeah? We would start on a landing. The order used to change, so no one landing was last to get served the meals. Staff would line up in front of the doors. You'd all unlock a door, there might be 8 of you. Those prisoners would walk down the landing, down the far end of the wing, down to the servery on the ones landing, collect the meal and back up the other way. One-way system. As they went back in the cell, lock them in, move on to the next cell. Yeah, 40 minutes to serve 200 meals, went like clockwork. It was controlled. You know, if anyone came up the other way and you were on the wing, no, people would be shouting at them, prisoners would. But it worked. It was a controlled unlock and we used to serve 200 meals. So there you go, that's Charlie. Like I said, I'm going to do another Maudsley video answering some of the criticism and questions that were directed me after that little video. Again, those of you who don't know, he killed 3 people inside, 1 in Broadmoor and 2 in prison. Robert Maudsley. So again, thanks for all the support, kind comments, parting shot. Stephen. Yeah, Mr. Waggy Tail, he's not been in no pit of blackness today. He is a beautiful boy. I do love him very much. And thanks for coming. I'll see thee.